You might remember in 1986, Fresno County voters embraced Measure C, the half-cent transportation sales tax measure. Then, in 2006, approved again. But now there's concern that Measure C is on life support. According to those who back it, the measure will produce more than $2 billion for transportation improvements across Fresno County if approved through 2027. So District 4 Fresno County Board of Supervisor Buddy Mendes joins me now to talk more about this measure. Welcome to Sunday Morning Matters.
Well, thank you.
You know, you're a big proponent of Measure C here, but you do have concerns coming up in 2027 that this may not see another term limit.
In November of 2026, if another measure is not passed, it will fade. It will go off the books, and it is a half-cent sales tax. So what we're trying to do right now is actually get ahead of it a little bit.
One are you concerned, though?
Well, I think people, you just talked about Measure P. There's other, measures being talked about, but this is kind of one of the cornerstones. Fresno County is actually, there's 26 self-help counties. Okay, in which Fresno County is a self-help county. Measure C makes it self-help. So you're in line for dollars, matching dollars. So you actually have a pool of matching dollars. But the 26 counties actually represent 85% of the population.
So the fly in the ointment here, because I think a lot of people are saying this is a transportation sales tax, a lot of it running on the fax bus system here. But then other people are saying, well, SB1, we're now tackling that in a gas tax. I know this is a sales tax, but it's just tax.
Well, it's still a sales tax.
Yes.
SB1 is still a sales tax on gas.
Right.
Okay, here's the thing with SB1. SB1 is for road maintenance.
I get it.
There is only a there's a small
start to think that they're paying so many taxes.
Exactly. We'll have to educate.
Right.
We'll have to educate the voters. This is a 2/3 tax. So if you don't do a good job educating the voters moving forward, then it won't pass. And that's what happened before. But there is a small portion of SB1 money that's actually goes into a self-help pool. So if you have a project, it's a self-help project, then if you're a self-help county, then you have access. If not, you have to take dollars from your general fund to match it, which almost no city and county can do today.
So Measure C, some of our viewers out there are saying, put this into my visual picture here. What is Measure C? If I go out and I say I voted for Measure C, but what am I seeing that's new from Measure C?
Okay, let's look at the old measure, the original measure. Highway 41 from downtown to Bullard Avenue. That's all it was. That's what Caltrans built. Everything else, all the way to the Madera County line over the river and 4 miles south down to Kings County, 180 across town, 168. Those were all the original measures. We got a lot of bang for our buck because Harry Armstrong and Joe Levy were some of the original members of that deal. They were on both committees, the original and then later the second one. Because how that works is, right now I'm what's called the chair of the Transportation Authority. These measures, these projects start with COG. COG is it's a county government, county and cities. It's 15 cities in the county, or the COG. These projects come through the COG, and if they get through the COG, then they go to the Transportation Authority for final approval. The second measure actually extended 180. There's a project going on right now past Sanger, Trimmer Springs. The passing lanes on 180. Now you got to remember the original one was all roads. This one's only about 65% for roads. The other, there's 24% of it goes to transit. FACTS gets $13 million a year off this. The rural transit gets money off this.
So if not approved in 2027, the FACTS bus system would disappear?
Well, you'd have to ask Miguel and the council because they'd have to come up with $13 million to keep it going.
So Measure C, do you believe, once it's again in front of voters, this is a no-brainer. They will vote on this to approve again, or because you don't seem so convinced, though.
Well, the problem is the second measure, and I use the word which is, I can say it on TV, bastardization. It was bastardized to get it passed. We had to use transit, wasn't in the deal. So what you do is you set up a committee. This deal will start with the COG will have to ask their staff, which they'll do in September, to look at extension. The Transportation Authority will have to have, there's only 4 people who work for the Transportation Authority, but they'll have to work with COG staff to move it forward. And then they'll have to form a committee. Committee is made up of non-elected people who actually come up with what they want the measure to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a fascinating measure.
Right.
It's one that has proven to work for Fresno County, so we'll see how this plays out. We got plenty of time to talk about it, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. We got a lot. This is just kicking. This is the kickoff.
All right. Appreciate
your time.
We got
a lot of plays.
We got a lot to talk about with Buddy Mendes over the next few years.
I'll come back another time.
Well, absolutely you will.
Yeah.
Open invitation.